Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Torch Tales. Yes, you guessed it. One more episode, one more guest. And here I am, again, being the lucky one, because I walked into one of the distributors, and what I heard, that I was a big fan. And who am I to then not ask if, hey, would you be willing to help me out in my venture? Leo Hernandez with Patriot Welding out of, where are we again, Leo?
Sebring, Florida.
Sebring, Florida. Leo, thank you so much for saying yes to this. It really humbles me to have you on because I don't know much about you, and we're going to learn this now, right? So, Leo, Sebring, Florida, Patriot Welding Supply, a distributor, which beautiful store, and in fact, I'll share a few pictures throughout the conversation once I post this one on. But Leo, you know the deal. You've watched a few already. Thank you again. Let's go back. Leo Hernandez, where is Leo from?
I'm Cuban originally. Came when I was a year old.
All right.
Raised in Miami, Florida,
Gotcha.
all my life.
So your parents, same thing, looking for a better life.
Correct.
Right? You know, the same as every one of us immigrants. They come here, they said, was it just you? Were you an only child or?
Me, my siblings are my brother, he's older than me, and then two sisters. The only one that's left is me and my brother.
Okay.
Out of everybody.
Got it. And what part of Miami?
Basically, I grew up in Carroll City.
Okay.
Yeah.
He made that face because they just had a reputation in Carroll City of... you get the idea why the face. Won't explain it. We all have one of those neighborhoods everywhere, every city, every state. So you go to school, middle school, all of that there. So what kind of kid were you as growing up?
Not something to be too proud of.
Okay, all right.
As an adult from there, or getting a little bit older, early 20s, that's where I could jump around a little bit more stable.
Gotcha.
That's how I met my wife, and then from there, went through life. Early 20s, applied for a welding supply.
Okay, all right. So before we get to that, because I know he's jumping, but hey, it's my show. I'm going to guide this, right? Now, being young, going to high school, being a rebel, just not having a vision yet of what an adult should be or act
Correct.
like. That's pretty much what you're saying. And I get it.
Great way to put it.
Hey, I've done this before. So I get it. We've all been there, and I think where you are now, looking back, and we'll touch on that, I know you got to be proud of yourself because you look back and probably there's no way that same kid that whatever you went through or that you didn't know how to promote yourself in the best light, now here you are trying to make it happen, pay it forward the right way.
Correct.
Right? So that's we've all been there. Now when you left high school, you had no idea what the next year or two were going to be like. Like you had no idea what your future was going to be like, right? I'm assuming.
None whatsoever.
Gotcha.
Didn't even know I was going to have a future.
Well, there you go, right? So I'm glad you made it because now I get to have you here. In your 20s, where you just said that's kind of where you started your exposure to the welding world.
Correct.
Right? And that's when you met your wife as well. Your current wife that she's
Yes.
part owner of Patriot.
Yes, correct.
Correct? All right. And again, we'll get to what he does now. So who was that first company that got you exposed to the welding industry?
I started working for a company called P&M Welding Supply.
Okay.
In Miami. Basically, it was two owners.
Okay.
Great bunch of guys. I started there as a driver.
As a driver. So did they have gas back then? Were you doing,
Yes.
so you were also rolling cylinders and all that stuff?
I was trying.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. I started there as a driver, learned the ropes, started rolling cylinders.
Okay.
And then from there, I just moved up the ladder. From a driver not knowing anything, not knowing what a bottle of oxygen was, to a box of rods, to anything. And then little by little, being exposed to it and getting the knowledge and
Gotcha.
moved from being a driver to warehouse, from warehouse Did a little bit of repairs on torches and regulators.
All right. So how did you get that job? Going from the wild times to getting that job. How did that come about?
Starting a family as a young man.
Okay.
And I remember back then it was like, to mention numbers, I remember I got that job. It was getting paid like $6 an hour.
Woof!
And
I made it. Yeah.
Exactly.
The American dream. Yeah.
That's what me and my wife said. Man, we get this. We're out of debt. But yeah, that's how we started there. I just applied. I seen a driver. I had my CDL with the hazmat, the whole 9 yards. So was able to acquire the job. And again, I just worked hard at what I did. And as I learned and they seen how I gave it my all.
Of course.
They just moved me up automatically. I never asked for anything, but they just automatically.
They saw it.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's always great when you have someone, because maybe when we are young enough, we don't have that vision or that, hey, maybe I deserve more. I'm just happy that I got a job.
Correct.
So it's nice when someone sees it because then it sparks something in you.
Yes.
To keep doing better and better. Like, whoa, this feels good, right?
Definitely.
I want to do this. So how long were you there?
I was there for approximately 25 years.
Whoa, that's a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah.
So now going from a driver, going all through the ranks, learning pretty much everything that it takes behind the scenes on a distributor, what was the one thing that you learned the most that surprised you out of that industry so early on? If you could mention something.
I think people see welding as just burning a stick, being dirty, but welding is so intriguing and the variety is just so much.
Correct.
People don't realize there's welding into 90% of everything that we have, from soldering to
you name it. There's nowhere that you can drive by or go to.
Correct.
That if you pay attention, once you are in the industry, we take it for granted because we're not even looking at it because we just know that what it took. But you're right, and we talked about this a little bit before, how the whole reason for this show is exactly that. Is to show that in the welding industry, there's so many other avenues for people to, hey, I want to be part of that, or hey, I can make a living doing that, or I didn't know that even existed.
Correct.
So that's the whole reason for this show, and for people like you to be in it and make it to this level, it's satisfying to see that we're here, we're going to stay, and it's going to stay, and we're doing our little part for it. So 25 plus years with P&M. What happens next?
From there, P&M, actually one of the owners, he got ill, he got cancer.
Okay.
And he wanted to secure his family, so they ended up selling the business to a competitor.
Gotcha.
And I totally understand, my bosses became like family.
Correct.
Being there for so long, and I to this day I still love them.
Yeah, it's a very personal decision.
Yes.
You can never judge someone because you don't know what's happening behind
Correct.
doors, right?
Correct.
So you can never. I've been there before, and every once in a while we get a little hurt because we're human. Oh, things are going to change. You might even think for a second you didn't think about the others, but you got to be in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah.
All right. So that judging part should last very short.
Yeah. It was sad, but at the same time it was opening me up to another avenue of where I went to be employed. After that, I learned so much. It was my next stepping stone.
Got it.
To new specialty equipment and
Okay.
stuff like that. It just grew me to learn more.
Of course.
Of the industry, which even got me more exciting.
Got it.
More excited for the industry.
Got it. No, that's pretty cool. And sometimes people push us to do things that we didn't even know that we were even pushed because of certain
Yes.
scenarios or things that happen, right? So while you're going through all of this, after the 25 plus years, and you start kind of, let's use the word, for a lack of a better word, jumping around for a little bit to not only acquiring more knowledge and more experience and all that. At that moment, after 25 plus years, were you thinking on, should I even look at any other careers, or do I really want to stay in the welding?
I thought about that, but being so long in the industry, this is basically everything that I know.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
I really love dealing with the customers, and it's a very unique industry where you learn something new every day.
That is so true.
So that's challenging to me, and I love it. Again, but also dealing with people and seeing them being able to give their solutions to problems that they have that they never even knew that were out there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that
So
makes it easier.
yeah,
To
it's satisfying to be able to help them out.
There you go. And I know that you worked for other big houses.
Yes.
You know, let's use that word.
I don't mind mentioning that.
Okay,
name.
go ahead. So who you work for?
It was Ready Arc.
Ready Arc. All right.
Yeah.
So what did you do for Ready Arc?
Ready Arc, I was a branch manager for North Carolina, one of the biggest branches here in Charlotte.
Okay.
So
And Ready Arc, by the way, it's owned by Airgas, correct?
Well,
Or
they were owned by Airgas, but then they got bought out by Air Liquide.
Oh, that's correct. Air Liquide bought the whole thing.
Yes.
Through,
So their Ready Arc became their own identity.
Gotcha.
Still sister company, but they're their own identity. Ready
Yeah.
Arc and Airgas.
So how long were you there?
I was with Ready Arc for 6 years.
6 years.
I learned a lot about specialty equipment there.
So something that you were not exposed to or not enough to know.
Correct.
You learned there.
Correct.
Got
yeah,
it.
it was just taking me to the next level.
Got it.
Great people to work there, and great bosses.
So North Carolina. So that meant that after Miami, P&M, and all that, and whatever in between, you moved to North Carolina
I moved to North Carolina
because of that position, or
I've
whatever.
always wanted to live up north.
really?
My wife is from Wisconsin.
Gotcha. So you just wanted to wear the camo shirts and all that and the hats and. I'm good, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love North Carolina.
Yeah.
We lived 30 minutes. The branch is in Charlotte. We lived 30 minutes north in a small town called Mooresville.
Okay.
It was more country.
Gotcha.
And I love that.
Really?
Yeah.
So 6 years there. So you moved there before Ready Arc? You were already there? Or it was
Actually, I applied for Ready Arc when we got acquired by a different company.
Yeah.
I applied for Ready Arc. They actually came and interviewed me, and the same day I was offered the position, and like 3 weeks later I was
Packing and
North Carolina.
got it. So 6 years there, and I'm assuming in between all that time you had either gone to that side of the country or that part of the world, meaning you go from Miami to North Carolina. I'm like, or was that like the first time? Like, let's go.
You know, I actually we had a good friend of ours that lived up there, and we went to visit her.
All right.
And when we were going over there to visit, my wife was telling me, "I'm not moving over there. I'm not gonna move over there." And I'm like, "Oh, well, okay. If I find a good house, we're gonna move over there." She said, "No, I'm not moving." And when we actually visited there, she says, "I'm not going back." So it was right there in the area where we wanted to move, and everything God just lined everything up. It just.
Wow, that's sometimes just life has a way of making things for
Yeah.
you, opening roads.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have kids?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
3 big kids.
3. Well,
Adults.
yeah, 3 grown people.
Yeah.
And are they in the industry at all?
No, none of them are. As a matter of fact, my daughter lives here locally in Sebring. Her and her husband have their own business. My older son lives here. He moved here after we moved here. He's a respiratory therapist.
Okay.
and my younger son lives in Vero Beach.
Gotcha.
He's an accountant.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you've been married for
35 years.
35 years. Hey, that was quick. You knew that number. I'm impressed.
I better.
Yeah. Right. And what's your wife's name?
Her name is Jennifer.
Jennifer. All right. And she was exposed to the welding industry before or while you were at it?
She
just
knows,
through you?
All she knows is hearing about it, but she got exposed to it once we opened up here.
Yeah, baby.
Hard knocks.
Good training. All right. So North Carolina, Ready Arc, 6 years are done. What happens then?
After being there, we had the opportunity. That's when the housing market was pretty good. So we had the opportunity of selling our home up there. And we actually came before that. We came to visit my daughter here. They were living here already with their business.
Here in Sebring?
In Sebring.
So that's kind of how you started knowing about Sebring?
So we came to visit, and we love the area because it's also small town mentality.
Yes.
A lot of greenery, a lot of cows, and and a lot of agriculture. And my son-in-law told me, there's not really welding supply here. I go, really? He says, man, everybody's asking me in my place for welding supplies. I go, what? And I checked it out. There was only...
And this conversation, because I know you've been here 2 years.
Yep.
But this conversation started, 3-4 years ago? Or right about the same?
This conversation started like maybe two and a half years. No, maybe close to 2 years ago.
All right. So if the business is 2 years old.
It started real quick.
Right? It's 2-3 months after that conversation.
Correct.
Did you start scouting the area yourself to know, are you right? Let me check some things.
I actually, while we were talking, I Googled, and only one place came up, and of course, standard big
corporation.
Yeah. But there was only one supplier here, and I'm like, wow, this can't be it.
So there was no real independent small distributor to offer that difference between the big names and right.
Correct.
The
to give that personal touch.
Correct. And we've talked about this without offending anyone or any other company. The small distributors like Patriot Welding can always offer something beyond what the other big ones can do, and that is, and the customers can see that, and you let the customers decide. Right at the end of the day, it's their decision.
Oh,
so,
correct.
So 2.5 years. Give or take, that conversation takes place. You start Googling, you find one, whatever, and you go, all right, maybe there's some truth to that. So, you were already living here, right? You already had moved to? Not yet.
No.
All right.
We were here visiting. We were on vacation.
Okay, but you had just sold the house.
Well, it was right before we sold the house.
Okay, all right. So, I'm trying to put the dots together.
So the dots together is we were here vacationing, visiting my daughter.
Okay.
And just out of conversation, that came up.
Was the house on sale already?
No.
Not even.
This is the funny thing. We start talking about it. I Google it. I go visit the supplier that's here. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, really? So then when I went back, I said, man, if I could get a good price for my house. And my daughter went, I could get you the comps on that. I go, really? She went, boop, 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 boop. She goes, look. And these people are offering. I said, if I get that, I'll sell my house. She goes, you want me to? I told her, sure. And she went, boop. 5 minutes later, I got a phone call. And they told me, Mr.
I'm getting goosebumps because the way that things can happen every once in a while, right?
No, it was crazy.
So now you go from yeah, sure, whatever, yeah, and then you actually see something building and an offer, and did you freak out there for a second? Whoa.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Let's just say that after I got the phone call and they said, can we come in a couple of days? And I said, well, I'm on vacation, so maybe next week. So during that time, me and my wife,
the new welding associate, by the way,
we're Christian and we're very faithful. We like to pray about things. Yeah. And so we did a lot of that. And
show us a sign.
And you know what? The signs were just boom, 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 boom. And we got back and they seen the house. They made us an offer. We set the closing for 3 weeks because we were able to set the closing that we wanted. We did it. And next thing you know, we're on a truck headed down here.
Without a place to live yet.
We were coming down here, and while we were coming, my wife was looking for a place to stay. Of course, we had our daughter that lives here, but we didn't want. So we found a place that it was like a little vacation.
Yeah,
it was like a mother-in-law, in-law. Yeah, and the guy said, "Well, I could give it to you to October." So we found that little thing. Very grateful.
Of course.
We were there for a couple of weeks, and we were able to find a house that we could rent, and we rented a house, and then we started looking for a location. And
all right, so now you're set. That's it. We are here. We are going to open a welding distributor. You start looking for a location. By then, did you have already anything lined up? Meaning, what am I going to sell? What am I going to have in it? And the relationships and the accounts and the credits and all that. Did you have any of that yet?
No.
Yeah, of course. I'm asking just so you guys can know, but I knew the answer.
For being in the industry for many years, I knew a lot of people. So I just reached out to a bunch of people, and they said, "You have to talk to this guy. You have to talk." They gave me the run, But we're very fortunate, blessed that a lot of doors just kept opening for us, and little by little, we just we're establishing a reputation with everybody, and they see how we're working and we're growing, and it's all about, like we were talking about, our growth has to be in just the way we treat people.
It's touching right on that, the way you treat people. So I was lucky enough to be here while a customer walked in, a regular, and by name. He came to pick up something that he had already ordered with you, or he had just asked, or he had...
He came and asked me if I had it.
Okay.
And I told him, what any distributor hates to say is, I could order it for you.
Correct.
But I told him I could order it. He says, well, okay, let me see. But you know what? I just like to go above and beyond. So I went ahead and I didn't order one. I ordered a couple.
Well, I know. So the reason why I'm saying that is because it didn't seem like it was an actual, hey, yes, hard, order it for me, I'll come get it. The way I saw it and the way I picked it up was, customer came in, kind of what I assumed. A conversation happened before. He asked for something. Maybe you said I could order it. And then he came in and, hey, I'll pick it up. Maybe you told him already, I have it now, by the way. But what I liked is that you said, hey, here's the one. By the way, I also have another one, just in case, to make sure. It was a drill bit. And just to make sure that if that, you have a replacement for it.
Correct.
But not only that, the customer comes in and while he's standing at the counter building that report for that one part, he looked at something else that you had.
Yes.
What was it? The screw?
Decking screw.
Yeah, decking screw. And the guy, oh, you carry this? And, he gave him the price, and all the other conversation just developed into, I'm going to check to see what we use, what our price is, and to see if I can drive that business through Leo as well. That shows you right there, guys, what the customers are looking for, and the experience and the relationships and the service. He didn't have to go beyond. The customer didn't have to even think about giving him any extra business. But you did something very little, and the customers feel like they want to pay it forward by also giving back their business to you.
Correct.
So congratulations, because when I walk into a distributor, I'm always paying attention how the whole relationship. Right, yeah. So trust me, I was just there, a fly on the wall, looking at the whole thing, and that was nice to see. So my kudos to you. So 2 years now here, Sebring, you found the place how quick, the location itself?
It felt like it took forever, but
Yeah.
we actually, within 2 months,
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we really look. There's not too much of a big industrial park type of place
Correct.
here to find. So we were blessed to, and it's funny because we looked through all types of avenue, you name it,
Yeah.
realtors, everybody, and my wife had to join a local Facebook group, and she had to put out there, hey, but by any chance, was anybody? Oh yeah, look for these people. Okay, who are these people?
Yeah.
And it's, oh, look over there by this place. And so we came and we talked to the owners, great people. Again, this place was perfect in the main avenue.
Yeah,
as
it
you
is.
see. You know, we got everything, great establishment.
Yep.
This is another door that just opened that it was just another confirmation that this is for you.
This is
you
the
know?
right thing. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, guys. It's what America it's all about. It's the small independents, the hardworking people that make the world run. I mean, let's face it. This is what it takes. Now, I know you also joined a buying group now that you have reached your 2-year mark, and some of the buying groups require certain rules, guidelines, whatever you want to call them, to be able to join them. So I know you joined the AIWD buying group.
Yes, sir.
And we talked a little bit about that. It's because you knew what a buying group could bring to a distributor because you were exposed to it when you worked for P&M
Correct.
a long time ago. So you always wanted to join one to expose yourself and get access to a lot more things out there. Is it something that you saw how much beneficial it was back then? Was that the main reason why you wanted to join one? And or was there more to it?
I did, but I see how the buying group, it just gives a small business owner the opportunity to be competitive. It's like when you join one of those groups or this particular group, it gives you the purchasing power. Like if you're a big conglomerate.
Correct. Yeah.
So because now I'm not just buying for Patriot. Now it's
Correct.
Patriot plus the whole group,
Yeah.
the whole buying group.
Yeah.
So a lot of distributors or vendors
Yeah.
notice you more, and they say, well, this group accepted you is because you guys are serious.
Correct.
You're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
So more doors start opening out, more avenues that we could distribute all types of different equipment. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Not to join one of these buying groups.
Yeah. No, I agree. But then again, I'm from this side of the world. It's always nice to hear it from your side and the why. Patriot Welding Supply. Why the name? What does it mean?
To me and my wife,
Yeah.
we love this country. We're patriotic. We're hardcore. What can I say? This country has given us. Well, she was born here, but
Yeah.
to me, this country has given me.
It's all you know.
Everything.
You came where you were. You're
Yeah, this is. I love this country, and this I tell everybody I have American friends that were born here, and I'm telling them I'm more American than you are. I'm the American pie, apple pie.
Right, yeah.
But I just love this country and everything that it's done, the opportunities that it's given. I would never, have what I have or be in the position that I am now anywhere else. So you got to love this country. It's
I get choked up because I know a lot of people think, immigrants and this and that. And it's true. We are here so long, since birth, since 1, 5, 10, that all you get to know is this.
This is it.
And, you travel and you go on vacation to other parts of the world, but you have fun, but you don't even connect to the way that you do here because, again, high school, professional life, wives, kids, everything, we've paid when you do it the right way, you pay taxes, you do your hard work, you do your weekly 40, 60, 80 hours, and you try to pay it forward. So I'm grateful that you say that, because I think there's a lot of amazing people that are super grateful for this country, and there's also a lot of people that take it for granted. And
Yes.
it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like, I'm entitled. I get to have it because I was born here. It's nice to see that as well and to hear that. I want to touch on something, because when I came in, you guys know how this works. I go left, up, and down. It doesn't matter. I interrupt my guest. It is what it is. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So you mentioned that you've watched the show, the conversation.
I still don't believe I'm doing this.
Right? Yeah. Thank you. And because of one of the episodes you watch with Rafael Arbello from Equigas, you even showed me, look, I picked up the book.
Oh, yeah.
Show me that.
Yeah, I was intrigued.
So Rafael, this is a plug to you, to a fan that watched our conversation, and he had never heard the book, and now he got it.
Yeah.
The greatest salesman, right?
Yep.
So there you go. It's working, guys. It's working. Yay!
Yeah.
Mom, I made it. I told you I would. So Patriot, let's go back to now. I promise you, we're almost done.
It's all right.
Customer comes in. How do you sell Patriot to the customer base that is been here in Sebring that didn't know about you? What do you offer? What do you have here? And again, I'll show you a picture. They come to you, and what do you give them as a whole?
We don't want that customer to come in just to be a number or a price tag. We want the customer that walks in through the door, we want to make them family, basically.
Yeah.
We don't want, like you said, the guy that walked in, Bruce.
Yeah.
I want to get to know people by name. When you walk into a place, don't you like,
course.
hey, Frank.
There's nothing that sounds sweeter than your own name in somebody else's voice.
People that recognize you, and that means they care about you.
Correct.
So we learned throughout the years, and we actually, one of the things that motivated us into doing this, like I told you earlier, is we noticed how the service was being downscaled and was going down the drain. And here we want to take it to the next level, where whoever walks into that door, I want to roll out the red carpet for everybody.
Correct.
I want to treat everybody better than the way I want to be treated.
Yep.
I want them, when they leave, I want them to say, man, I want to come back to this place.
Yep.
Whether it's to buy a welding supply or anything that I could help them with.
Or just experience, just an advice. Yeah.
That's it. I've had guys come in here and sit down and talk to me for half an hour, and they pick up and leave.
Yeah.
Then they'll come back 3 weeks later and they buy half the store. But that's,
I wonder why.
And I don't do it with that intent. I just do it because I want to treat people the way I would like to be treated.
Exactly.
And that's not happening in a lot of places. A lot of places, they don't have time for you.
Correct. And you can see the speed on how people want to treat others. It's just about get in, get out.
Yes.
So I can go back to my phone.
That's it.
Right? And,
That's it.
So those that will set themselves apart, they'll be successful. Because I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are a millennial, an X, a Y, a Z, a desk, a chair, whatever. We all want to be treated fair and equal, and you don't look for it. But when you find it, you go out of that place, you go, man, I feel good. You can't even say why, but you'll keep coming back. It becomes muscle memory. And so that's good. So it's your wife when you brought and said, let's open a welding supply, and it's going to be me and you. And what was her reaction right away? Yes, I'm in.
My wife has always wanted me to open my own business. And I was like, nah, it takes more than what you think.
Thank you.